Pep, the final match before Christmas, you've sent Manchester City fans home happy, top of the table for now as well. What were you delighted with today?
For a few things, they were really, really good. We're improving a lot in terms of defensively. I love it a lot. With the ball, we were miles and miles away. What you have to be a contender to win a big trophies. So today the right spots were not occupied, and our movement was not correct. So we weren't happy, but I'm happy because I visualize I have margin to improve, and we have to.
You drive the best standards, and I'm sure the dressing room reacts to that, and they have done since the start of November. But are you allowing them to be able to celebrate somewhat, or are you still asking for more and more?
No, of course you have to celebrate it. I'm not saying that I'm not happy with what they have done in the last 8 games. So I'm really pleased, but the only chance, because I have experience on that, I'm sorry, is when you grow, the team grow, and in aspects we grew up a lot in the last weeks, especially today, make a very big statement, but with the ball still we are not good enough.
It would be easy to ask you about Erling Haaland and the assist and 2 goals, but you mentioned the defence, so can I ask about Donnarumma and those couple of saves and what you thought of that?
In the point, because with the ball we are not good. So we give away many things because we are not in the right spots to break the lines, to make the next steps. And because still the players, they are not courage to do that action, to do it, and we have to. But we'll improve it because they are so open. The group of players are amazing, really, really good, and we'll try to do it, yeah.
That turnaround in points, the gap to Arsenal, at one point it was 8 or 9 at the start of November. And it's a fairly new group of players that you've put together and getting that consistency. How do you think you have turned it around to this point?
No, it's good to be there, but I'm telling you, so we cannot beat Arsenal if we don't improve in our game. So it will not be enough. People say, it's what really, really, truly believe. I'm not saying I'm not happy. I'm so happy. So we are in good position, Champions League. We are close on top of the league. You have played teams at 6, 7 position. The qualification for the Champions next season is game by game a little bit bigger and bigger, and that is really, really important. But what we define the team is improving in our game, and every game play in different way defensively, and that's why the way you have to attack is completely different, because the way you attack it depends on the opponent's shape, and today was clear what you had to do, and we were not in the right spots, and that is what you have to improve.
Pep, thank you for speaking to us. For the final time, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Let's get a little bit of reaction to what Pep Guardiola was saying there. It felt, Dawson, what he was saying. Yeah, he's happy overall, but he talked about not being good enough with the ball. There's still, despite this terrific run they're on, work to do. Did you see that today?
Yeah, standards. And I think it shows there. He wasn't happy with Reinders, Cherki and Nico Gonzalez, because you looked at 2-0, he's gone, wow, I'm changing the whole team around. Savinho comes on, Rico Lewis comes into the middle of the park, and Nunes comes into the middle of the park. It just shows if you drop the standards and you give the ball away at times, I'll make changes. Because that was a big moment. If West Ham had got the next goal, then they come straight on and they make it 3. Disastrous defending. But I think he sends a message out, doesn't he, Pep Guardiola, going, OK, you've done great, you've won 7 on the bounce, you've got to the top of the Premier League, but let's not stay there. We have to kick on again, and they've got some big games coming up, going to Nottingham Forest on the 27th, Sunderland away, and then Chelsea at home. So the next 3 games are huge for them.
And just finally, it's an interesting aspect, this, isn't it, given what we've seen from Guardiola in seasons gone by, because you look at the last 8 Premier League games, he's used 12 players in his starting 11. That's very different to what we've seen before. Is that because for him there's not enough below that? Is he just sticking with the formula that for the time being works, gives him the best chance of maybe getting a title in what might be his last season?
He's always worked with a small group of players. He doesn't like having to leave big players out or make the decisions where he does. I mean, I have to mention Divine Mukasa, young lad. He's played 3 times in the Carabao Cup, but he got an opportunity for a Premier League debut. So,
how did he look overall?
Do you know what? He did OK. He got on, he made an opportunity for Haaland to get his hat-trick. So he could have had an assist on his Premier League debut. So great for him to play. But Pep Guardiola's always worked with a small squad. He gets the best out of these group of players, and it just shows when you're not to them levels or you come off, he makes big calls and makes big decisions. He doesn't care who you are. I've touched on Nunes coming from right back to midfield, and I'll touch on him again. His energy, and people are starting to appreciate him, I think, now at Manchester City.
And for the time being, at least.
First goal at the Etihad for you just before Christmas, and I could see the delight on your face. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, feels good to finally score at home. I waited a pretty long time for it, but today was the day, and happy to win this game as well.
And usually I'd get you to speak about Erling Haaland's goals. He did get 2 in this game, but I'm interested in your thoughts on his assist today.
It was a good assist. He got the ball from Turkey, and he had to think fast as well, and passed it to me, and then I could shoot it in.
Just before the game against Bournemouth at the start of November, there was an 8-point gap to Arsenal, and now temporarily, if it's just for a few hours or however long it is, you're top of the Premier League table. What have you made of that rise over the last few months?
That we had to keep confidence, and of course you want to win every game, but with the right confidence and right mentality, you can do it, and it shows how much quality our team has and how much we have grown together as a team in putting streaks like this. And it's a good job from us. And now we have to keep on going on this streak.
As the professional athlete as well, I'm going to ask you about the psychology of this and being the chasers and applying that pressure. How do you think it's going to work in your favour?
We have to see, but we have to keep the pressure on them because they are above us. Not now, but before, and we have to keep the pressure on them, and especially going from our qualities and winning games.
And just finally, before the game, Pep Guardiola spoke about personality, and you all showing that in your performances. What was your verdict on that today out there?
Sorry again.
About showing personality in your individual performances.
But that's something we all have to do because we're playing for Manchester City, so we have to show at each game that we have the quality and play without fear. And I think we did that pretty good the last couple of games.
Congratulations and happy Christmas.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Yeah, the winning machine at the moment, 7 in a row in all competitions. Boydie had asked a question to Dawes just before the break. He was champing at the bit to ask the question. We had to go to the break. So do you want to re-ask it to Dawes again? Can you remember it?
I can't remember what it was, so.
It was that good.
Yeah. It was, the 5-4 game against Fulham. They looked so vulnerable defensively. Yeah. It's now 3 clean sheets in a row, 3-0 victories for Manchester City. Yeah. What's changed?
Well, West Ham still had opportunities in the second half, and that's why I asked Guardiola, what did he say at half-time? Because as soon as you let opposition teams in, they might have half a sniff. Jared Bowen had an opportunity 2 minutes into the second half, and if they make it 2-1, then what happens? And that's what happened in the Fulham game, to win 5-4. But I think at this moment in time, you can see Haaland at the end, he's on 2 goals, and there was an opportunity for Savinho to cross. He shoots. He's then shaking his hand. He wants a hat-trick. They've got that winning mentality about that. 7 wins on the bounce, like you said. That is a
But are they
mindset.
capable of sustaining the kind of runs we've seen in previous seasons where they've gone on to win the title and put the real squeeze on Arsenal?
I think they are, yeah. I really do with this team because the goals are scoring. Ultimately, you have to be solid defensively. It was interesting that he took off Reinders, Cherky and Nico Gonzalez at 3-0. And I'm thinking, it might have been 2-0, 3-0. And I'm thinking, is that because he's not happy the way it's going, or he goes, I expect more? And he brings Cousin off to right, back moves Nunes. Mateus Nunes is one of the most important players now for Manchester City. And you'll go, what, you've got bigger players? But he goes from right back. And when he came into Manchester City from Wolves, you're thinking, where's he going to play? Now he's playing right back. He moves into midfield. He took Gonzalez off. And you're thinking, wow, I've seen Haaland at the shots after going, do you know what? You're getting some respect now. People are talking about you because you deserve it. It took a long time to settle in and be part of a Manchester City team that you think you're worthy to wear this shirt and carry. And I just think collectively they're coming together. Rico Lewis comes on, does great. Savinho comes on. And I think now collectively they're really starting to believe. And they've got that fear factor back.
And it puts Erling Haaland with 2 today on 19 Premier League goals for the season. That is the joint most we've ever seen in a Premier League campaign before Christmas. Little mini Christmas quiz here. Can he name the other 3 that he's now got a joint with?
Shearer.
Nope.
Salah.
Nope.
Henry.
Nope.
Fowler.
Vardy.
No.
Vardy.
No?
Oh, my gosh.
This is a disaster.
It is a
So
disaster.
bad.
It's Andrew Cole, Kevin Phillips and a certain Luis Suarez. 19 Premier League goals before Christmas.
It's easy when you've
It
got
is
the
the
stats in your
joint
ear,
most-
isn't it?
Hey,
It's easy when you've
hey.
got the stats in your ear.
Listen, I didn't claim that was my own word, did I? I don't claim any of this as my own word. I'm just here to steer the ship. Sometimes okay, other times a little bit choppy.
Backwards, which is not easy for us defenders to follow the rhythm, but yeah, at the end we kept the clean sheet and we scored 3 goals, so we can't complain, yeah.
And just finally, Josko, what you are absolutely doing at the moment, you're building momentum. We've seen this so often down the years with Pep Guardiola's side, perhaps less so last season, but in seasons gone by. Now 7 wins in a row in all competitions. Do you believe you're beginning to build a run that could take you to some seriously significant places this season?
Yeah, I would like to tell you, but it's. I think it's still early to talk about it. It's difficult to tell. What I can say is that me as a defender, I'm more than happy to. That we are happy with what we've been doing and how we've been defending all the games, especially the last 7. So honestly, we are not focused on that. Especially me as a player, all I want is all my goal is like to go game by game, day by day, to be better version, better person, and I think we still have some spaces to get better and better.
Final question, just briefly, the most important question, because this is your final game before Christmas Day. Is the boss giving you the day off or not? Are you in training Christmas Day?
Tomorrow.
What about Christmas Day, though? Are you in training Christmas Day?
We are, actually. We are. Obviously, we play Nottingham Forest on 27, so we are in, and yeah, we need to get ready and prepare for that game because we know how difficult it is to play there. So
yeah, I can see you're absolutely delighted by it. Listen, we really appreciate your time. Thanks ever so much for joining us on Soccer Saturday. Have a great Christmas.
Thank you guys. Have a good one. You too. Thank you, guys.
Right, plenty for us to talk about over the course of the next few minutes between now and 6 o'clock. But let's have a very quick chat with Dors, because it was interesting hearing from Josko Guardiola. He inevitably is going to play it down. But how significant a moment in the season in terms of how this title race pans out, particularly for Arsenal, is this evening, and the fact that Arsenal go into that game away to Everton a little later, behind, having been 7 points clear.
Well, first time this season that Manchester City we see sitting top of the league table. They had an opportunity before. They've got the job done. Still early days. Josko spoke there. Great that he came on and chatted to us. And, you know, he talks about Erling Haaland scoring another 2 goals, 19 Premier League goals this season. It was so dominant from start to finish. So comfortable. West Ham were really poor. But Manchester City, they got the job done. The first half, it was way too easy. And I just wondered if you take your foot off the gas in the Premier League, it sort of give West Ham a little bit of an opportunity. That's what I said to him. What did Pep Guardiola? Because I know what Pep Guardiola is like. He demands, he has expectations. When you have a chance, take the game to West Ham. And while it was only 2-0, they got the second goal. And very comfortable afternoon for them.
Dos, what do you think's changed with City when you look at it? I mean, that was when they went to Fulham, they won 5-4.
Yeah.
That's now 3-0 victories, 3 clean sheets.
I'll tell you what, Dors. I'll tell you what, Dors. Just hold on to that thought. Thanks for the question, Boydie. We have to take a break.
Your former side there, they weren't really out of sort of second, third gear for many parts of it, but top of the tree.
That's the most important thing about that game. I think they didn't really have to do much to be 3-0 up. I think West Ham made it very easy for them. But the chances they did make and create, they took, and after that they was just kind of just killing the game. They was toying with West Ham in many ways because West Ham wasn't trying, they wasn't aggressive, they weren't really trying to break or cause them any problems. So City could have gone a few more gears up if needed to, but for West Ham it's very worrying.
It could have been a lot worse for West Ham, bearing in mind, Al, that Erling Haaland gave them the lead, Manchester City, in the 5th minute.
Yeah, and he also missed 2 really big chances as well, despite getting his 2 goals. And when we talk about West Ham, the lack of pressure on the ball, the lack of urgency to try and make a tackle and stop Manchester City, just wasn't there at all. He missed the first one. You give him another from West Ham, and you give players of the calibre of Foden and Haaland, etc., time and space to have shots at goal and then follow up like that, then you're going to get punished and you're not going to get anything out of the game. And That's what really happened the whole game. They didn't really have to break sweat Manchester City. They were really comfortable for the vast majority of that game.
Not just a goal pig, is he, Erling Haaland? Set up Tajani Reinders for the second. He's got an assist in his locker, Shawnee.
He does that. He gets more assists than he gets credit for, because all we do is see him score a lot of goals. But in this play, his vision and awareness of where he was and where other players were was fantastic for a striker, because he could have took the chance himself. He doesn't. It opens his body, and Tajani kind of does the rest. And again, we can say how well City did, but it's also how bad West Ham were at defending this, Alan.
Yeah, I mean, the tackle there is... Well, there isn't a tackle. And that's the problem from Fernandes there. It's just a dangling of a leg. And they work it really well, Man City. They get into a really good position. And it's a clever finish in the end. But again, you'd have to say from a manager point of view, at West Ham, it's not good enough.
And if it wasn't game over, in the 38th minute when that second goal came, it certainly was in the second half when Haaland made it 3.
Yeah, I mean, this sort of summed West Ham's performance up, didn't it? Where, again, City get into a dangerous position, but Max Kilmans gets stuck through his legs, and then the defending from Todibo and Kyle Walker-Peters is comical, really. They're both getting each other's way. And he's left with the easy opportunity of getting his second goal. You just can't make mistakes like that at any level, let alone against one of the best players in the world, one of the best finishers in the world, because he will punish you, and that's what happened.
And he has 19 Premier League goals. It's not even Christmas, which is crazy, isn't it? From Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
And there we go, job done for Manchester City. Top of the table for now, only by a point. Of course, Arsenal playing later on this evening. Let's start our roundup elsewhere, away from the Etihad, at Molineux.
So welcome back into the Premier League Live studio with me, John Champion, alongside me, Robbie Earle and Stephen Warnock. We can draw several conclusions, I think, from Manchester City's display today. But never mind conclusions and opinions. What we can say factually is that they're now top of the table for the first time in 14 months.
Slightly ominous. This big blue shadow's sort of been looming. They're in outstanding form. I think the last three scorelines have all been 3-0, where the goals have come, they've kept the clean sheets. Donnaruma's been an important part of that. Erling Haaland continues to be at the top end of the pitch in scoring goals for fun. That's 19 Premier League goals for him now. And it's a team that have got players playing back well again. And you know what I noticed today, John, more than anything with the game? Pep's back on the touchline, but he's back animated.
More engaged?
More engaged. The fire's back in his belly. I'm not sure what's happened in that space of time, whether he just needed a little time to go again. But all the signs are there that this Manchester City team are going to be in and around it come next May.
So Arsenal, when they kick off at Everton a little later, will feel the breaths on the back of their neck. And we know what's happened in that situation before in recent seasons. What were your main takeaways from watching City today, Stephen?
That they weren't tested. But sometimes they're the hardest games when you feel like you're expected to win them games and you're expected to win comfortably. At the moment, they're doing that. They haven't done that in the past 14 months or so. They've struggled in games. I think what they've got is an incredible striker who's in sensational form. They've got Cherki, who's now starting to show why he was almost a bargain. We're starting to see the best of Phil Foden again. So we're starting to see just a coming together of that forward line, starting to produce, and clean sheets are gold dust in the Premier League. If you can start keeping clean sheets, you stand a chance.
Yeah, and from West Ham's point of view, if Leeds beat Crystal Palace later on, then West Ham are going to find themselves 5 points adrift of a safe position. So worrying times for the Hammers. But
since the 18th of October, and even then after that win over Everton, they were only there for a couple of hours. Everton play, of course, Arsenal later this evening.
It doesn't matter how long you're up there sometimes, as long as you're there at the end of the season. But right now, it's a statement to say to Arsenal, we're on your tails, and if you slip up, we're kind of ready to pounce. And they started the game well, moving the ball around very, very quickly. West Ham ain't giving them too many problems. They're very passive in terms of defensive sticking in, and City made the most of it early on.
In terms of statements, Erling Haaland likes to make them. Only took him 5 minutes out to make this one. What is it, goal number 37?
Is that all?
In 28 games, yeah.
Another level, isn't he? He's incredible, he really is. But I have to say, the lack of, I don't know, closing down effort, whatever you want to call it, from times been a bit embarrassing from their point of view, because if you give any player time and space, they're going to punish you. But if you give Foden and Haaland that time and space, then they're going to have a field day, and that's what City have done in that first half. They've not even had to play at their best, but their They really are 2-0, and that's he'll be. I was going to say he'd be disappointed he didn't put the first one away. He should have, but his reaction was
18 in the Premier League after what 16 and a half games so far this season, only bettered by Erling Haaland himself, and of course Luis Suarez after 17 games, 22 in that Brendan Rodgers side there. 2-0 against West Ham, Manchester City. This came from Tijani Reinders, but it came thanks to some really poor defending, Sean.
Yeah, poor defending. I think we pressed high there, and the touches it took to put that in the roof of the net from a City perspective, it was unbelievable. It was great interclose, quick interchanges of passes, rotation of positions, and I just love it. I'm in awe of the way Cherki plays, the way he manipulates the ball.
Watch this lack of effort. Look, watch that. Is that the best tackle you can put in to try and win the ball? Because you know you're going to be under pressure if you lose that tackle. Seriously, I think Nuno will be going absolutely berserk in there at half-time because that, for me, is just not acceptable when you're dangling a foot in and around the penalty box when you're up against really, really good players. It's not enough and you're going to get punished. And they're lucky it's 2 because Haaland's missed a sitter by his own standards with a header. It should be 3 or 4.
West Ham, you say, Nuno will be going absolutely berserk. Obviously, staying in the bottom 3. Looks like they're going to stay there come 5 o'clock here in the UK this evening. And they've got a huge task on their hands in this relegation battle. But what can they do out there? What can they do?
They can give more effort. That's what they can do.
It could get uglier, couldn't it, this?
It could do, absolutely. It depends how much Manchester City want to go out and punish them. Is that they can put a bit of effort in, they can tackle, they can put their bodies on the line to try and block and get close to people. And if you get beaten by having a go and having a fight and a scrap, OK, they're a better team, but at least you go down fighting. There's no fight whatsoever from West Ham in that first half. It's been awful.
First time in nearly 5 years, Shawnee, as well, that West Ham haven't had, not a shot on target, a shot in a first half of Premier League football.
Yeah, from what Alan says and from watching the game myself, you can see exactly why. They have no interest in trying to go forward. And when they do, they're kicking the ball high to Bowen. And I've played up there a few times in my career back in the day. And when you kick it high against defenders, that can win the ball with ease in the header and in the situation of heading the ball just comes back to City. They recycle it and then the pressure starts again. And West Ham are just getting deeper and deeper and deeper until the point of, if they do want to break, it's so far to go. By the time they get there, City recover, and then they take the ball and it starts again.
They're playing a really good team in Manchester City who are in form and full of confidence. But, and it's a big but, you've got to try and get closer to your opponent. You've got to try and tackle and stop your opponent. And I haven't seen any of that from West Ham in the first half.